All right, we got the start of the new week, and I wanted to go over this real quick because this past week, I mean, we had a down with 21%. Sky was falling. Um, we had a total from high to low 26% pullback. And let's bring up the Lucid SAR because I had talked about that a couple weeks ago. Because in the past bear market or bull market, we had seen this break, and that kind of signaled an area when it was a good time to buy. So this week, let's start on early 2017. So here it broke. That was a good time to buy. Didn't quite break here, but it touched it. Didn't quite break here, but it touched it. Here was the time to buy. So it's not like it gives you a bunch of opportunities. I mean, in 2017, it really only gave you one, two, and then we had kind of maybe three other times, 1, 2, 3, where it kind of almost got there, and then that was, I mean, I guess it really wasn't by the dip. Here was, it didn't break it, and here it just continued up. So really two. So like 1, 2, broke. So maybe four opportunities. Maybe here because that it did dip down and then it shot right back up. But usually, if it breaks, that's usually a good opportunity. And this week it it went from 37 to 41,701, and I do have a retest area on the daily of 41,450. Are we going to get this low this week? This Fibonacci kept us supported. I did say that if we close the week above 40,000, that was 2 times the previous all-time high. We did that. The week closed at 45,231. So I was going to say that once that happened, we were never going to see 30K. And I'm going to say that right now. I tweeted it a couple hours ago or a couple minutes ago. I think 30K on a weekly basis is gone. You'll never see Bitcoin close below that ever again. And then pending some, black swan event. And then kind of based on historical data, this says that we should also never see Bitcoin go below 40K again. But I'm not ready to say that we're not ever going to see that again, because this bull cycle is definitely different than I think any other bull cycle in the past. With all the adoption and media that it's getting, we could see some things that are different. Even though we have 10 years of data, it could be different. So I just wanted to keep this real quick though. But so we closed the week above 40K. Or actually, what it was the month closed above 40K. So here's February, closed at 231. Whenever the month closes above that, it's usually never goes below that again. So I've been saying personally for myself, anything below 45 was a buy. So let me pull up that other TD sequential. I'm going to keep this short today. I'll cover a couple positions and that's about it. So we're on a 5. The daily, we're on a 7. We did reach our target. So I did say we had a TD sequential 9. So here's the thing about this one. We hit the 9. Where is it at? Did I accidentally move it? Hold up. Might be on the other one. Nope, not RSI. Here. So right here, here's the 9. I don't know why it wasn't on that other one. Did I just miss it? Or maybe was the count wrong? Oh, it was right here. I just didn't see it. Okay, so whenever we came down the first time, I said I like to see these retested with green numbers. It didn't retest with a green number here. So since it didn't retest with a green number, I kind of was I was looking at this area possibly being even though we ran up, we kind of retested the breakout, and we did reach the target for the channel. We did reach the target for the channel, but I'm going to go ahead and take this off, or at least hide it. Why doesn't it let me hide it? All right, there we go. So I was a little, we went back, hit the channel, and then we consolidated and we went down. We really weren't getting anything from the CMF to showing that we were getting buying. I mean, it was just trending down. Now now it's starting to trend back up, but it's kind of just trending up with price. So I was like, okay, we could technically come back down and retest this, and we did. We came down, we got our green number. That's a retest area where we found support here at this area. That's actually good, based on the way I trade this. Let me bring up the other one because it's cleaner. So that's good. I'm happy we got that retest. What else do I want to look at? We can look at the funding rate real quick. That's kind of starting to trend down. I think on the daily it's down, which is good. That means the market itself is not as long, net long as it was. Weekly, it's kind of, went sideways, but more consolidation is good. More consolidation between this area is good. RSI, we did break here, but I mean, I'm not completely, worried about it. I didn't think we were at the top. If this 8 gets below the 30, maybe we'll see another down, like 8, 9. We could get the 9 here on this and trend down to this 41. But based on historical data, like I said, maybe we get to this 41. We'll see if it breaks. We're gonna get an answer relatively quickly within the next week if we're gonna go back below 40, even though historical data says that we're not. We should never wick back down below 40 ever again. I said 30 is long gone, but we'll see because we're so close. I mean, this is nothing but a 10% move, and moves like this in Bitcoin are, they're easy. Yeah, 10%. So historical data is saying we're not going to get price below 40. Maybe it goes to 41,450, and then we bounce. But it should never, based on historical data, that's true until it's not anymore, really. But like I said, this cycle's different. This is a new decade, so we'll see how it goes. I'll bring up the Mayer multiple real quick. We kind of did, what we did about a month ago, where we came and then we came back down. I think what's going to happen with this cycle is we're going to oscillate between these areas, peaking and then pulling back, peaking and pulling back. Eventually, we're going to break through it and we're going to just go right through it. And here, whenever we broke, I said, we should be around 60K within the next 2 months. I think I said 35 days, but it's really the next 2 months, so 60 days. But we did get there or close to it, not quite, to 60. It had missed it by like 3%. So yeah, we broke here. So maybe within the next 60 days we'll be at 90. We'll see if that still holds. This is different. Bitcoin's never done this where it's peaked in this area and then pulled back. It usually it peaks and then reaches the upper band. It breaches this area and then reaches the upper band. So it's not doing that. So it's definitely different. It's definitely different. We can look at stock to flow real quick. Cross assets at 64. The regular model, the original model's at 34. We're above that. Still have that target about 100,000. Let's look at one more thing before I switch off of Bitcoin. What was it? I had it in my head and now I just lost it. It was not CMF, not hash ribbons. It was the RSI. That's what it was on the monthly. I wanted to see what that closed at because I said at 95, that kind of signaled a top area. So we could be getting to like a little local top. So here was in August, and then we pulled back that next month, closed 8% down. Then here, December, and then that started the bull cycle. The bear cycle, or the bear part of the cycle of the halving cycle. Here we're at 89, so we haven't reached 95 yet. We're not, that's still good. That's still bullish as a whole, and we're getting support here at this Fibonacci. So that's good. I wanted to go over gold because I'd been talking about gold, and now I've kind of changed my mind on gold and silver. There's a lot of people that are still bullish commodities in general. Silver did run up, but if I just trade these moving averages and then this channel, which we broke, we closed below it last week. That says gold should get, the target is around 1600. I don't know why this weekly's here. That should be red. These should be 4 hours, these marks. Let me make sure I marked these properly because it's been a while since I've kind of I just looked at these. And maybe I was using blue at the time, but that's not what I'm using now. So that one is still there. This should be not blue. This should be an orange color. And then this one, I guess this one is on the weekly. I was just blindly marking them at the time. So here, this should be a deep red. There we go. So this is the daily. Oh, look at the daily. It looked like we had. Oh, so this is, oh, that should be a green. There we go. So we haven't retested this area with a green number yet. So I'm going to leave that on there. This orange should be on the 4 hour on the upper part. And it is. And then this is a weekly where we peaked. That's what this should be. And it is. Okay. So we have our levels. Target is 1600. These lines are trending down. We're on an 8. We can look at the RSI real quick. Trending down on the daily, it might be oversold. Oh, it bounced. But I think this is just a bounce. We'll probably just get a retest of this area, this 1785. Yeah, it's not looking good for gold. Oh, wow, look at that. We had a 9 on the 4 hour. I'll mark that. Even though a lot of people are bullish commodities, I'm gonna try to stay safe. And out of them, I can wait. Let other people take the risk. There should be a blue color. Yeah, it's good. So I think we'll trend back down, even though we went oversold. That was like that would have been buy the dip on gold, right? But yeah, so I'm in silver. It looks. I mean, we can look at it the new month and week. We had a 9 there too, and I'll go ahead and mark that. Silver's been so frustrating. I've actually been trying to trade it on the momentum of it going up, and I mean, it tried to do it multiple times. So like here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. It tried to break out of this channel and it just couldn't. And now it's starting to trend down with gold. And I was like, well, I'd never seen it. Usually they move together, silver and gold move together. So I was like, okay, what if it'd be different, but what if silver moves and gold drops? Because that's what the gold ratio is, the gold to silver ratio is kind of showing. We'll look at that real quick. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to stay out of silver too. These are starting to trend down. Gold's starting to trend down. It tried multiple times to break this. For me to even consider going back in, it would have to go, 28.32. It would have to get in that area and maybe show more promises of breaking out, because we never really got a weekly close. And I thought last week we would get a green number above a prior green number above the 9. That didn't happen. So it's almost like we've had 7 attempts on the weekly. In 7 weeks where we try to break above it, it would almost be, I want to wait until the last like 30 minutes or 10 minutes before the week closes to ensure that we close above the prior week high and then we close above this 9. But these are now red numbers. Like this was a green 5, but now it's a red 1 and a red 2. And then my moving averages are starting to trend down. So I'm like, I'm going to move on. I'm going to let silver do its thing and gold do its thing and move on. Our Bitcoin one is starting to trend down a little bit, but we're talking about a different asset. People like to compare them, but a different asset. So I didn't want silver. I wanted the ratio. So here we go. Like I said, this broke. Silver was outperforming gold, but now it's kind of just consolidating. And what I think is going to happen is it's going to consolidate, and then we're going to fall down. Which means that gold's still not going to fall. I mean, gold's going to fall more aggressively than silver, which is kind of weird, but that's what this is showing as far as our ratios. This is this would be overbought, which means that we would see maybe gold start to go up. I mean, we are in the middle of this range pretty much. So very odd. Has it come down? No, we consolidated, but it's never come. I guess it has come down and then shot back up, but not this high before, or it's come down and shot back up. No. Well, maybe here. I mean, this just looks like we're going to get more downside. So we'll see. Is oversold on the weekly, was oversold on the daily. I'm staying out of gold and silver. I'll look at oil real quick. Oh, let's look at lumber, because I think I had talked about lumber a couple of weeks ago. And it's like there are no double tops. And I mean, if you look here, this was a cup and handle kind of. Oh, let's go on the weekly. Let me get rid of this. I mean, that's a big price run up. I had this on here. I guess maybe I was looking at it by myself. All right, so here, yeah, green number above a par, green number above the 9. That's still a back test area. On the weekly, we'll make that, it should be white. White? No, it should be red, a deep red. That's what I usually use. Yeah, so, oh, let's pull up something else because this thing really ran up. I want to see the continuous count. 9, but we got the retest. 9, we didn't get the retest way down here. So can lumber come way down here? Sure. But it broke the previous all-time high, so we're going to say no. Run up, broke the previous all-time high, and we're going higher. So I'm not going to mark this one. I'll keep this one here. Let's look on the daily. Daily, we got a 9. So it looks like, I mean, bullish lumber. Oh, look, I got a retest, or it's getting a retest right now. Let's say it should be just a regular, not a deep red, but just a regular red. Deep red's the weekly. Yeah, this broke the high, so I'm not worried about anything here. Let's look at the 4-hour real quick. Just marking all these levels. Remember, this is a guide. Look at that. Boom, retest. Not worried about those because it broke the high. There we go. So that's it. See what happens with lumber. Everything's trending up. We can pull up the RSI to see how overbought it is. No, but we're getting divergence. So, yeah, so that's it. If this is a little cup and handle, the first target would be the little cup. I would say it's probably here. The handle part, not the little cup. The handle part. Right there. Somewhere around 1150 or something like that. The larger target would be the larger cup part, but I'm not going to mark that yet. I'll just leave this here. So there we go. We're on a 5. Maybe we break out. Are we overbought on the daily? No, we're trending down. Wow, look at that extreme. It just ran up. So volatility and lumber. So that's about it. I will, if you have any comments, leave them in the comments. But that's kind of the review for the week, for the beginning of the week. I'll go over other stocks, and maybe later in the week we'll see how that market goes. I mean, I'll pull up the S&P real quick. Yeah, so we had the pullback. This got retested. Moving averages are starting to trend down a little bit. I would be looking for a larger pullback if this blue line goes below this pinkish line. And then, I mean, we did get the green 2 below the green 1. So the red 2 below the green 1. Red 2 below the red 1. Let's see what the RSI is showing. Yeah, just keeping it simple. Let's get a retest area. No, let me mark that. And we're going to make this blue. Anything else? No. There we go. So, yeah, that was a reversal candle. Then it went lower, so we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's open. I think the futures were up, though. Let me check real quick. I think they were. Yeah, futures are up. So we'll see how the market opens tomorrow. But I pretty much exited all my positions, stocks or commodities in general. Even the marijuana stocks, I kind of took a break on those. We'll see how those go because they moved aggressively. So the main one was TLRY. I don't like the way it's moving. Again, this blue line below this pinkish line, it kind of mirrored the S&P. We can bring up the correlation coefficient to to see how they're moving together and if there's correlation. And not so much. It has to really be above 0.8. But we can look at the weekly. Yeah, it's pretty close. So they're kind of moving together. Let's see on the smaller time frame if they are. Yeah, on the smaller time frame they are. So there's correlation on their movements as far as moving together. So we'll see. This could pull back to the 1940-41 area. That could be the buying opportunity. Let's look at the CMF to see if there's buyers coming in. Not really. That kind of went down. There's some support here, but we'll have to wait. We'll see on those. Still think we have a good year, but we'll have to see. So, alrighty. Thanks for watching.